Today we are going over the new version of the iDryFire version 3. This kind of looks like their iPhone app, their iPad app that they have out there. A lot of the same controls and styles even as their clip and shoot, so a lot of the stuff should be pretty familiar. Compared to the last one, I mean, they had on the version 4 they had the ability to do your shots and do certain part times and just have it repeat constantly until you told it to stop. And since then, enhanced that where not only can you just have a max timeout and a max number of shots, you can also do a number of sessions. So if you wanted to be able to do 5 sessions and analyze and then do 5 more and so forth, then you can actually set your sessions, how many sessions you want to do. They also have the history that you can see when you do a session, that you go back and see where they shot at, whether there's a jump in the laser and so forth. They also added extra settings here where you can have start delays, goes between 1 second and 3, auto start and 5, and the shot mark size. So you can adjust those if you wanted to make the size bigger or smaller. They also added a number of sounds that you can do, change up when the laser hits the target and it captures it, it will do a gunshot sound. So you can have it just go at different shots, whichever one feels more comfortable to you or what you're doing, or just for fun. If you want to just have a laser for fun. There's different start sounds for buzzards, regular beeps, and then buzzard finish sounds. There's a couple different other ones. There's beeps, and then there's also, if you want to go funny sound bits with Trump and Biden, they have a number of those that you can do. So when you finish, that sound will go off. They also have a steel sound, so which we'll get into a little later. So on this, you see some targets on the background here. First part I set up for this top row was pretty much for still challenge, and this one was set up for just general shooting, or I could just do all of them however I want to configure. I could do 2 shots on each as regular paper, so that's 10, 12, 14, 16 shots there. Or I could do singles as all steel. If I treat them as all steel, you can pretty much just add steel, and then you just move it over to, this is to basically say that this is a steel. So when you hit this target here, it will give the steel sound. For you people that love steel challenge, you can also help. You can set this up as your kind of like different stages here and there, just to practice for the steel challenge stages. So even though these are torso targets, you could just say, yeah, I'm just going to hit not the head. And I can just move this over, resize it down, and make targets for Smoke and Hope on this one, or whichever other stage you have set up for the targets. If you have multiple cameras, you can switch in between, and it'd probably be easier to switch between different kind of stages. But yeah, you can do tank with plate. So right there, I set up Smoke and Hope, and I limit myself to 5 shots. So even if I miss one and just keep going through, then I miss it. There's no makeup shots, because you're allowed, just straight up 5 shots. So, just adds a little more challenge to it to make sure you just don't miss. But every time you hit these markers here, it will go off, make that steel sound. And like I said, you can shoot it once, you can shoot it twice, however many you want, or however you configure it. But you can also do this for regular practice and steel challenge practice if you wanted to. You wanted to save a stage, you can. You can open open up that existing stage. It's clear. Because I already have one for Steel Challenge. There it is. But you can add different kind of steel markers for this and that, and have it just give the steel sound instead. Cameras, if you have multiple cameras set up, you can always tell it to change camera. It's clear. You can and just cycle through the cameras that you want. If you have them different angles for different kind of stages or different kind of things, you can just toggle change camera and shoot that stage. And it's pretty cool the way that's set up. This one that's very dark, that's the laser ammo camera. And this one's using the iMarksman camera. And this one's just using a regular web camera. So let's go through some of the iDryFire sessions.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Stand by. 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 Are you ready?
So that is pretty much our overview of the iDryFire version 3 that is currently out there. It's always been a great tool. I've been using it for the past couple years. It's just been a great tool to just see if I'm jerking the trigger and just to quickly set up, dry fire practice for different kind of paper targets that are out there, and just to see how fast the first draw is, how fast the transition is. Both of this version and the last one had that. This one, like I said, does have the session, so you can go through each session. If you did 5 sessions, you could go through each individual one and see what you did on that session, how fast your draw was, how fast your split times and your transition times and so forth. And you'll be able to see where the laser was and if there was some jerking here and there. So it's always nice to be able to see that, so you can know I need to get a tighter grip, do better trigger control, It's a very handy tool, and I recommend getting it. They also have an iPhone, iPad version 2, which will use that camera as well. But I mostly just use computer version. But if you travel a lot or have very limited space, then you can also try the iPad and iPhone apps. So go out, give it a shot.